Yesterday we started compounds of sodium. So in that, the most important compound NaOH, that is caustic soda, preparation, properties, uses, so all we completed yesterday. Remaining compounds of sodium, this is also very, very important. Almost 10 compounds from sodium side we have to discuss here. So this is first one already completed. So now second one, that is sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. So now what is the preparation of sodium carbonate? What are the other names of this sodium carbonate? See here, boys. So sodium carbonate, second compound from sodium compound side, that is sodium carbonate. Its formula is Na2CO3 10H2O. Very, very important. 10H2O. Na2CO3 10H2O, which is called as sodium carbonate decahydrate. Sodium carbonate decahydrate, commonly called as washing soda. Common name for this one is washing soda because it is used in washing soda. Next, if this water molecules, because of heating, that water molecules are lost, this is anhydrous substance. This anhydrous sodium carbonate is called as soda ash. This anhydrous sodium carbonate is called as soda ash. These are the names. So that is hydrated part is called as washing soda. Without water, that is anhydrous substance, which is called as soda ash. See here. So this sodium carbonate is prepared mainly in two methods. Mainly in two methods. One is Leblanc process, no doubt important, and that is Solvay's process. Second one, that is very, very, very important, boys. Solvay's process. Before entering into that, first of all, we have to complete that Leblanc process and Leblanc process. It is the first preparation method of Leblanc process. That is our Na2CO3 sodium carbonate, which is Leblanc process. What is this process? What are the starting materials to prepare this Na2CO3? Those are considered as raw materials. So we need NaCl, concentrated H2SO4, coke, one of the allotropes of carbon, that is coke, and limestone. These are the raw materials to prepare Na2CO3. Now, what is the method? How to prepare this Na2CO3? By using this. See, boys. So this NaCl first of all reacts with H2SO4. First, that gives sodium bicarbonate. This sodium bicarbonate is commonly called as nitre cake. So names are important, boys. NaHCOSO4, sodium bicarbonate, is commonly called as nitre cake. Next, the formed bicarbonate once again reacts with NaCl, gives Na2SO4. This is without water, boys, which is anhydrous substance. Anhydrous solvent, no water is there. This anhydrous sodium sulfate is called as salt cake. This anhydrous sodium salt is called as sodium sulfate is called as salt cake. It is another compound, nitre cake bisulfate, sodium bisulfate, salt cake, sodium sulfate, and anhydrous. This formed Na2SO4 reacts with coke. So that gives Na2S plus 4CO1. Na2S plus 4CO. This formed Na2S, sodium sulfide, reacts with that limestone. That gives ion exchanges takes place here. So this sodium converts into sodium carbonate, calcium converts into calcium sulfide. So because sodium with carbonate stable, calcium with sulfur stable, that is why exchange takes place. Therefore, that mixture Na2CO3 plus CaS, this mixture is very, very important, which is called as black ash. A mixture of sodium carbonate and calcium sulfide is called as black ash. So that is, so there Na2CO3 is there. So to separate that Na2CO3, first of all, that Na2CO3 is dissolved in water, and that is called as leaching process. So dissolved in water. So that contains the sodium carbonate and calcium sulfide. The sodium carbonate, which is soluble in water, but not calcium sulfide. Calcium sulfide is not soluble in water. So that's why calcium sulfide, so precipitated as a residue in the solution. So it is in residue case. So that Na2SO4, Na2CO3 are soluble in water. Soluble in water. Okay. So separate that by using filtration. So solid precipitate is riscarate because solid residue is nothing but calcium sulfide. So bring that filtrate. That filtrate contains soluble Na2CO3. So that soluble Na2CO3 is now heated. Therefore, water present in that one is evaporated. And finally, we have solid Na2CO3. Solid Na2CO3. It is the way to prepare Na2CO3 by Leblanc process. Leblanc process, it is the way to prepare Na2CO3. Okay. So here in this process, names are important. Niter cake, salt cake, black ash. Niter cake, salt cake, black ash. So niter cake, sodium bicarbonate, salt cake, that is anhydrous Na2SO4, black ash, it is a combination of, it is a mixture of sodium carbonate and calcium sulfate. Sodium carbonate and calcium sulfate. Okay. Now, and most important, that is second preparation method. So second preparation method, that is Solvay's process. Solvay's process. Please note down all these equations. Please note down all these equations. Important ending. Those names are important particularly. Okay, thank you. Next one and very, very important one, that is Solvay's process, or which is also called as ammonia soda process. Solvay's process are also called as ammonia soda process, which is also called as Solvay's ammonia soda process. Solvay's ammonia soda process. So boys, this is the very, very important method of preparation for sodium carbonate, because this method is very cheap, because all the required raw materials are very cheap and easily available in our India and in particular in our Telugu states. Next, quality is highly purified component. Highly purified compound with low cost, it is easy to possible. So that's why this method is that much important. So that is Solvay's process or ammonia soda process. Now, what are the raw materials? Raw materials for this process. One is brine solution. Brine solution. What is that brine solution? That is a 10% aqueous NaCl solution. 10% aqueous NaCl, that is brine solution. Second one is ammonia. Third one is limestone. Commonly used limestone, frequently available in our AP and Telangana. Limestone. All these are very cheap, boys. Very cheap and gives more pure Na2CO3. More pure, highly purified Na2CO3 is obtained. That's why this method is very, very important. That's why this method is very, very important. Okay. So this is the requirements, and these are the requirements. Now, by using these requirements, how to prepare our Na2CO3? Now, what is the principle behind it? See here. So the principle So that means the reactions behind it. So the principle involved here, first of all, this ammonia reacts with aqueous NaCl means contains water. Why? See here. Limestones means it is CaCO3. It is CaCO3. This CaCO3 is heated and gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is required to prepare Na2CO3. For this carbon dioxide purpose, I am using limestone. So that's why limestone is required. It is used for preparing CO2. This CO2 is used to prepare Na2CO3. See here, what are the reactions? That is ammonia. First of all, reacts with water, that is from aqueous NaCl, and this liberated CO2 gas. So by the combination of these three, that gives first of all ammonium carbonate. Na2CO3 is the product. Na2CO3. This formed Na2CO3 once again involved in the reaction. NaH3 plus H2O. Sorry. That is NaH4 twice CO3 plus H2O plus CO2 plus CO2. This combination finally gives ammonium NaH4 HCO3. Ammonium bicarbonate is the product. So ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide in the presence of water, gives first of all ammonium carbonate and then converts into ammonium bicarbonate. This ammonium bicarbonate NaH4 HCO3 reacts with brine NaCl. That gives this ammonium ion is replaced and converts into NaHCO3 plus NaH3 or NaH4 OHN, NaH4Cl. Yes, NaH4Cl. So sodium bicarbonate is the product. Sodium bicarbonate. So if you want sodium bicarbonate, stop this reaction here, because next compound is sodium bicarbonate, boys. So that for that purpose only we are using Solvay's process up to now only. But this formed sodium bicarbonate, it is insoluble in water, sparingly soluble in water. Why, sir? Because of its polymeric structure. Already at the time of bicarbonates and carbonates, so we are already I explained the polymeric structure of that sodium bicarbonate. So because of that polymeric structure, it is sparingly soluble. But potassium bicarbonate, KHCO3, potassium bicarbonate, which is in dimer state, so that is completely soluble in water, but sodium bicarbonate is sparingly soluble in water. So because it is insoluble, this method is used. Because potassium bicarbonate, in case potassium bicarbonate is formed, so that is completely soluble in water. So that's why that potassium bicarbonate is not prepared by this method, because it is soluble. But sodium bicarbonate, which is insoluble, so it is easy to separate out. The precipitate is separate out. So therefore, so this NaHCO3, which is heated strongly, the process is called as calcination. Calcination means heating in the absence of oxygen. Heating in the absence of oxygen, that gives Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. So this is Na2CO3, our target product, boys. This is Na2CO3, our target product. So this is the principle behind it. It is the principle behind it. Okay. So with the help of these chemicals, so by reusing these reactions, first of all, sodium bicarbonate, which is insoluble in water, and separate out. So that precipitate is heated strongly, that gives a sodium carbonate. But this brine solution, nothing but NaCl. The commonly available impurities in sodium chloride is magnesium chloride and calcium chloride. Those may interfere in this reaction. That is why some side reactions are also possible. So that is, those reactions are utilized to remove those impurities. What are those side reactions? See here, boys. I am using side reactions. Sir. What are those side reactions? First of all, ammonia reacts with water, gives ammonium hydroxide. Ammonia reacts with water, gives ammonium hydroxide. Boys, all these are side reactions. All these are side reactions. Next, that ammonium hydroxide, that formed ammonium hydroxide reacts with carbon dioxide, may be possible. That gives ammonium carbonate and water. Ammonium carbonate and water is formed. Okay, this formed ammonium carbonate and ammonium hydroxide are very helpful to remove the impurities present in NaCl. So the basic impurities in NaCl are MgCl2 and CaCl2. MgCl2 and CaCl2. So those are the main impurities. Now these impurities are removed with the help of this one. With the help of those. See here, that is magnesium chloride. When that magnesium chloride reacts with this ammonium hydroxide, so that magnesium chloride reacts with ammonium hydroxide, that gives magnesium hydroxide, which is precipitate out, plus NaH4Cl. So please mind it. That is NaH4Cl. Byproduct is NaH4Cl. Next, calcium chloride. There is another, that is CaCl2, that reacts with this ammonium carbonate, NaH4 twice CO3. That gives calcium carbonate, which is precipitate out, plus 2 moles ammonium chloride is the product. 2 moles ammonium chloride is the product. Okay. See here, that means the impurities present in sodium chloride, magnesium chloride and calcium chloride are separated and precipitated as magnesium chloride as magnesium hydroxide, separate out, and calcium chloride as calcium carbonate, separate out. But ammonium chlorides are there. So we are using those ones. See here. Next one. If this formed ammonium chloride, I am continuing here. That formed ammonium chloride reacts with any strong base. Yesterday we completed the reaction. NaOH, ammonium salt reacts with strong base. That gives ammonia gas, NaH3 gas. This NaH3 gas reused here. That means no wastage. So for this strong base condition, boys, here when CaCO3 is heated, that gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This calcium oxide is used to prepare that strong base. Okay, so that means that Ca1 is dissolved in water, that gives calcium hydroxide. This calcium hydroxide acts as a strong base for this one. So this calcium formed calcium hydroxide, that means it is a residue. When CaCO3 is heated, that residue is dissolved in water. So that gives calcium hydroxide, which acts as strong base. So that strong base reacts with ammonium chloride and generates ammonia. So that is CaCl2 plus H2O. So now this generated ammonia, this is regenerated ammonia. This regenerated ammonia is further used to prepare this sodium bicarbonate and also sodium carbonate. Sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate. Okay. So this is the way to remove these impurities, and these are the side reactions. So now how ammonia regenerate, that is a regeneration process, boys. So by taking all these reactions, finally we will get sodium bicarbonate. That sodium bicarbonate on calcination, that is heating, that gives a sodium carbonate. These are the reactions which are involved in the preparation of sodium carbonate in Solvay's process. Preparation of sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate in Solvay's process. Just please listen here once again. This is important. The basic impurities in NaCl are magnesium chloride and calcium chloride. Magnesium chloride and calcium chloride. That magnesium chloride and calcium chloride are removed by this method, but ammonium chloride is there. That ammonium chloride is used to regenerate. Once again ammonia. So how is that? That ammonium chloride is heated with strong base. That strong base is nothing but calcium hydroxide. Sir, how to get this calcium hydroxide? Here is the waste product. That waste product is dissolved in water. That dissolved water gives that gives strong base. That strong base liberates ammonia. Liberates ammonia. So this liberated ammonia is used in further preparation of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. That means in this process, no waste product. Everyone is useful. Everyone is useful. So that's why it is the cheapest method and highest purified compound we will get in. Okay. Now, what is the diagrammatic arrangement of these reactions? The diagram is also very, very important. So diagrammatic system. So this is the theory behind it. This is the theory behind it. Now diagrammatic reactions. So what is the diagram for Solvay's process? See here. Now, diagrammatic arrangement. See, boys. So this is the tower which contain at present ammonia, which is ammonia, boys, which is called as ammonia absorber. This tower is called as ammonia absorber. So ammonia is here. To this ammonia, brine is entered in it. Brine with that impurities. Okay, this brine with ammonia is in combination with, combined with, that is called ammonical brine. So once again come to the way. So this is first passed into the filters because impurities are there in it. So this is a filter, boys. This filter contains those impurity removing techniques in it. So this is here. So magnesium as magnesium hydroxide precipitate, calcium chloride as a calcium carbonate precipitate out. That means impurities are removed. Impurities are removed. So almost purified component. Almost purified compound. So moving like this. So it is the direction. Moving like this. So that is called as ammonical brine solution, which is called as ammonical brine solution. Now this ammonical brine solution now entered into another tower. So no, reactions are not completed, boys. It is another tower. This tower contains shelves like this. Number of shelves are there. Shelves are there. So in this, from the bottom, CO2 gas is passed. So in this tower, from the bottom, CO2 gas is passed. From top to ammonical brine is coming out. Both the reactants are in opposite direction. Out the opposite direction, that means reactivity is very, very fast. So because here CO2 is passed into the solution container, that is why this is called as carbonation tower. This is called as carbonation tower or also called as Solvay's tower. Solvay's tower. Sir, from where this CO2 is coming out, sir? So this CO2 here, it is an arrangement. So see here. Lime kiln ending. So see here CaCO3, that is limestone ending. Limestone here is taken. So this limestone is heated. So that is a CaO and CO2 coming out. This formed CO2 is entered here. So here calcium oxide is precipitated. Calcium oxide. To this calcium oxide, water is added in. To this calcium oxide, water is added. So now it converts into calcium hydroxide, it is used for regenerating ammonia. That is used for regenerating ammonia. So it is a side way. So CO2 is released, that released CO2 is entered into the Solvay's tower. So all the whatever I wrote in previous condition, all the reactions that takes place. Finally, so coming out one is NaHCO3. Sodium bicarbonate is coming out, which is insoluble. So precipitated out, separated, precipitated. But so some of the unreacted ammonia, NaCl, and some dissolved, because it is sparingly soluble, some dissolved sodium bicarbonate, all those are available, boys. So that is those are moving like this. That is unreacted ammonia, NH3, that is NaCl, sodium chloride, and soluble sodium bicarbonate, all those are moving like this and entered into another container. So this is the container, boys. Here is passed. So there, this calcium hydroxide is also added. So they here ammonia regenerated. That regenerated ammonia is now connected to this tower. That regenerated ammonia now connected to. That means also side reactions takes place here. There is ammonium chloride is there. The ammonium chloride is also available here. Ammonium chloride, that ammonium chloride reacts with calcium hydroxide, ammonia regenerated. That regenerated ammonia once again connected to ammonia tower. Okay, it is the direction. This is in this way ammonia plus some CO2 is there. Ammonia and some CO2 are there. So that is entered into the ammonical tower. So this is the diagrammatic arrangement for the preparation of NaHCO3. Now this NaHCO3 is heated, that gives Na2CO3. This NaHCO3 on heating gives Na2CO3. So this is the preparation of Na2CO3, that is by Solvay's method. So very, very, very important, boys. So in IP point of view, this diagram is very, very important. So otherwise it is no need any. Okay. So very, very important. So first of all, sodium bicarbonate and then sodium carbonate. Okay. Now, boys, is this process useful to prepare K2CO3? Is this possible? Is used to prepare K2CO3? Potassium carbonate is possible to prepare this one, this method? No. And potassium carbonate, very, very important. That is K2CO3, not prepared by this method. K2CO3 not, because why sir? Because the form KHCO3 and potassium bicarbonate soluble in water. That formed KHCO3, here NaHCO3 is insoluble, but if KHCO3 is formed, that is soluble, it is not easy to separate. That is why K2CO3 is not prepared by Solvay's process. It is only for sodium bicarbonate and also sodium bicarbonate. So why it is soluble, boys? Because of its dimer structure. It has only dimer structure, that's why it is highly soluble. It has polymeric structure, that's why it is insoluble. Okay. So this is the preparation method of sodium carbonate, that is by Leblanc process, and also next one, Solvay's process. These are very, very important, boys. Now, what are the physical properties and chemical properties of this part? See here. Now, properties. Properties of sodium carbonate. What are the properties of sodium carbonate? First one, it is a white crystalline solid. It is a white crystalline solid soluble in water and heat released. That means exothermic dissolution is exothermic process. Soluble in water and heat energy release, that means exothermic processing. Okay. So next, second point, that is it is efflorescent substance. Efflorescence. So what is the meaning of efflorescent substance? Efflorescent means losses water of crystallization. Efflorescent substance means losses water of crystallization, boys. So that means our Na2CO3, 10H2O is there now. It is a decahydrated. So it itself on long standing, so losses water of crystallization and converts into Na2CO3 H2O only. That is monohydrate. So it is a decahydrate, boys. Decahydrate converted into monohydrate by the loss of those 9 water molecules. So that means it is a efflorescent substance and converts into monohydrate. And converts into monohydrate when it is exposed to air. When it is exposed to air. So because of this monohydrate, it is powder-like material. So it has powder-like material. Very, very important. So that means powder is formed. So hydrated substance is converted into powder-like material. Next one. So when Na2CO3 is dissolved in water, so that means aqueous solution, aqueous Na2CO3 solution. So what is the nature of aqueous Na2CO3 solution? That is nothing but alkaline in nature. Already yesterday we completed it. That is aqueous Na2CO3 solution is alkaline in nature because of anionic hydrolysis. So because of anionic hydrolysis, so that is alkaline in nature. That is, so here CO3 2 minus, so that is a strong ion. So that reacts with water when it is dissolved. That gives H2CO3 plus OH minus ion. H2CO3 plus OH minus ion. That is a free OH minus ions are there. Therefore, the solution is alkaline in nature. The solution is alkaline in nature. Now these are the some physical properties, boys. So itself. Now, when it is involved in reaction with others, because it is a base, no doubt Na2CO3 is basic. That is why it reacts with acids and also acidic oxides. So what are the reactions behind it? See here. Na2CO3 has basic nature. See here. Reaction with acids. Reaction with acids. So what is that? See here. Na2CO3 when reacts with acid like HCl. That gives NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. So 2HCl. So that is a carbon dioxide gas is evolved. That releases carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, when it reacts with Na2SO4, that is also acid. That gives H2SO4. That gives Na2SO4 plus H2O plus CO2 gas. Carbon dioxide gas is released. Because this carbon dioxide gas is released when it reacts with acid, this carbon dioxide gas is used to stop the fires. That is why Na2CO3 with acid mixture is used as fire extinguishers. So used in fire extinguishers, so therefore used in fire extinguishers. These reactions are helpful. So to prepare that CO2 gas is used to stop that fire. So that's why in fire extinguishers, this is the very, very useful condition. Next, reaction with acidic oxides. Reaction with acidic oxide. See boys, our CO2 is an acidic oxide. Our Na2CO3 reacts with CO2 in the presence of water, that gives 2NaHCO3. Bicarbonate is the product. Sodium bicarbonate is the product. It is acidic oxide, boys. Next, Na2CO3 when reacts with SO2 gas, that gives Na2SO3 plus Na2SO3 plus CO2 is released. So it is sulfite. Next, same Na2CO3 when reacts with SO2 in the presence of sulfur, that gives Na2S2O3 plus CO2, which is called as hypora. So it is used to prepare hypo. It is very, very important products, boys. So in our laboratory, hypo is very, very important required. So that is hypo is used. So it is the preparation method. Next, when Na2CO3 reacts with SiO2, silica, that gives Na2SiO3 is the product. Na2SiO3 plus CO2, which is called as water glass. Glass making lo use cheyachu. It is used for making glass for making gas. So that means all these are the reactions of acidic oxides. CO2, SO2, SiO2, all these are acidic oxides, boys. So these are the reactions with acidic oxides. Now, reaction with some salts. Boys, all these are reactions. Today, please try to note every reaction. Next, reaction with salts and mineral salts. Boys, this reaction is divided into three categories. So this reaction, this concept is divided into three categories, depending on the product's formation. In one condition, carbonates are the products. In another condition, hydroxides are the products. In another condition, so combination of carbonates and hydroxide additional compounds are the products. So depending on the situation, so this is categorized into three categories. See here, first one, A, that is salts of reaction with salts of our first year and second year metals. So that is sodium, Na plus, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, these metals, and beryllium, magnesium removed. That is calcium, strontium, barium, and so when these salts reacts with our Na2CO3, carbonates are the final products. See here, let us take an example. Here, carbonates are products. Here, carbonates are the products. See here, let us take an example. So that is, I am taking calcium chloride, CaCl2. When reacts with Na2CO3, that gives 2 NaCl plus CaCO3. Calcium carbonate is the productant. Like that. So barium chloride, same. Na2CO3 that gives 2 NaCl plus BaCO3 is the productant. So these are the carbonates are the production. So when salts of these chemicals, these metals reacts with Na2CO3, automatically carbonate is the major productant. Carbonate is the final productant. Next, second case, that is salts of, that is Zn plus 2, Cu plus 2, Mg plus 2, Pb plus 1. Here product is addition, that is carbonates with hydroxide. Carbonate with hydroxide addition compounds are formed. Carbonate with hydroxide addition compound is formed. See here what happened. That is when ZnSO4 zinc sulfate, 5 moles zinc sulfate reacts with 5 moles Na2CO3, 5 moles Na2CO3. So with 4 moles water, that gives so 5 Na2SO4 plus water is there, that is 3 CO2 plus that is 2 ZnCO3 carbonates with 3 Zn hydroxides, hydrated part. Zn hydroxide. See boys, zinc carbonate and hydroxide are the production combination. Like this, addition compounds are the final product. Addition compounds are the final products. Let us assume one more equation. That is, I am taking, there is magnesium sulfate, because magnesium also here. Magnesium sulfate, Mg plus 2. So that is MgCl2 I am taking, or MgSO4. That one reacts with Na2SiO3. Sodium carbonate. It is 2 moles. That is with H2O. That gives MgCO3, MgOH twice. It is the addition compounds with CO2 and Na2SO4. So this is the case. See here, it is the major product. This is our considering products. So combination of hydroxide and carbonates. So that is addition salt is formed. Addition salt. Next, third category, boys. Third category. That is salts of Fe plus 3 ions, Al plus 3 ions, Cr plus 3 ions. Here, first, that is a carbonate is formed. And it is immediately hydrolyzed to form respective hydroxide. Please note down. So first a carbonate product is formed, that is unstable, immediately reacts with further water and form respect to hydroxide. Therefore, hydroxide is the final product. Let us assume that equation. See here, I am taking aluminum salt, Al2SO4 thrice, aluminum sulfate. First of all, it reacts with Na2SiO3, sodium carbonate. So 3 moles involved. That gives aluminum carbonate, Al2CO3 thrice, aluminum carbonate plus 3 Na2SO4. It is unstable, boys. This is further reaction. That is that Al2CO3 thrice, aluminum carbonate reacts with water reacts with water gives 2 AlOH thrice plus 3 CO2 and 2 AlOH thrice plus 3 CO2. Therefore, the final product is hydroxide. The final product is hydroxide, boys. Here CO2 gas is released. That is why. That is why. So this reaction used in foam fire extinguishers. Foam fire extinguishers. So foam is formed in it. So that foam stops that fire in it. That's why foam fire extinguishers, this reaction is used in. Like this, 3 category of reactions. All these are very, very important, boys. So, but I'm giving some examples only. Please note down, all these are similar reactions. Here also, all these are similar reactions. So those metals just replace. Here also, just those metals are replaced. So here, aluminum hydroxide form, here ferric hydroxide and chromic hydroxide, those are the products. Those are the products. So these are all chemical reactions of our Na2CO3. Now, what are the uses of Na2CO3? Uses of Na2CO3. So, most of the uses already covered by, that is uses of Na2CO3. Uses of Na2CO3. First one, in the manufacture of glass, in the manufacture of glass and caustic soda, NaOH. So yesterday we are using this Na2CO3 to prepare that NaOH, that is causticizing process, NaOH. Next, second point, that is as washing soda. Washing soda. It is used as a washing soda. Next, see, boys. So in hardness of water, so Na2CO3 is the chemical used to remove both temporary hardness and permanent hardness. So that's why it is Na2CO3 is used as a water softener. As a water softener. Used as a water softener. Next one, in petroleum refining. In petroleum refining, it is used. Next, in the manufacture of paper, soap, that is artificial zeolites. What are these artificial zeolites, boys? Those are nothing but our permitted process. Artificial zeolites. Next, that is pumice, that is colored stones, that is ultramarines. Ultramarines, colored stones. So these are all manufacturing techniques. Next, as a reagent in lab, in our chemistry lab, as a reagent, both in qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. So very, very important, boys. Okay. Yes, NaO is also used in NaOH. So different chemicals put out. Okay. So this is Na2CO3, very, very important. Next one. So simultaneous products, that is sodium bicarbonate, already preparation covered, boys. So next compound, that is the third compound. sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate. Its formula NaHCO3, which is used as baking soda. It is used as a baking soda. That is cooking purpose. Cooking purpose. This is used. Baking soda. Now, what are the preparation methods? So, industrially, by Solvay's process. Industrially, Solvay's process is used. Already we covered that process, so no need of once again. So that's why. Next one, in lab, this reaction also we covered it. What is that? When Na2CO3 reacts with carbon dioxide in water, that gives 2 moles. NaHCO3 is the productant. So this is the way to prepare that NaHCO3 in laboratory, that is in small scale. That is in small scale. Okay. So once again, what are the properties of this NaHCO3? What are the properties of? So properties. First one, it is also white solid, boys. So sparingly soluble in water due to its polymeric structure, polymeric chain structure. Due to its polymeric chain structure, it is slightly soluble. Sparingly means so slightly soluble in water. Next, its aqueous solution also alkaline in nature. So this its aqueous solution also alkaline in nature. So due to anionic hydrolysis. Due to anionic hydrolysis. That is, what is that anion? NaHCO3, HCO3 minus that reacts with water gives H2CO3 plus, it is weak acid, and free OH minus ion is coming out. So that's why it is anionic hydrolysis. So that's why it is OH minus coming out, alkaline in nature. Aqueous solution is alkaline in nature. Next, third point. That is, when NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate, on strong heating gives Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. Boys, once again CO2. Because the CO2 is released, it is used in fire extinguisher. Used as fire extinguishers. So it is also used as fire extinguishers. Okay. So these are the some properties, boys. Some properties. Now, what are the chemical reactions? What are the chemical reactions of this Na2CO3, NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate? So see here. Just a minute. Just a minute, boys. I'm changing the pen. That is, with zinc and magnesium salts, NaHCO3 gives normal carbonates. It is important reaction, boys. With the zinc and magnesium compounds, our NaHCO3 gives normal compounds. See here what happened. That is MgCl2, magnesium chloride, and reacts with NaHCO3. That gives magnesium bicarbonate, first of all, magnesium bicarbonate plus 2 NaCl. 2 NaCl. But this formed magnesium bicarbonate is, that's formed magnesium bicarbonate. That formed magnesium bicarbonate itself unstable, boys. So converts into magnesium carbonate plus H2O and CO2. CO2, that is a fire extinguisher. Next point. So it is first law, magnesium salts. Similarly, zinc salts also in. Similarly, zinc salts. So this reaction is used. This reaction is used to distinguish Na2CO3 and NaHCO3. Very, very important reaction. So this reaction, because bicarbonates only gives this reaction. Without, that is, carbonates are not giving this equation. Carbonates not giving this equation, boys. So bicarbonates are not giving, so not survive. It is magnesium, not mercury. It is magnesium, boys. Zinc and magnesium salts. Thank you, boy. Zinc and magnesium salts, that gives, so with sodium bicarbonate gives normal carbonates. Normal carbonates. So sodium carbonate never gives this type of reaction. So if reaction is taking place, that is bicarbonate. If no reaction takes place, that is carbonate. So that is the distinguished reaction, boys. Okay, these are the chemical reactions in our sodium bicarbonate from my side. Now, what are the uses of NaHCO3? What are the uses of NaHCO3? Boys, once again, fire extinguishing. Used in fire extinguishers. Next, and very, very important. So, in our stomach, if acidity is there, to reduce that acidity, maybe we are using Eno packets like that. In those Eno packets, this sodium bicarbonate is maybe available in it. That means as an antacid, as mild base, as an antacid it is used. Okay, so as an antacid in medicine, it is used as an antacid. Next, third point, which is a mild antiseptic. Used as a mild antiseptic for skin diseases. So that is skin infections. For skin infections, it is used as an antiseptic. And lastly, and most important, so in baking soda, it is used. In baking soda, it is used. What is this baking soda? Baking soda is combination of, it is a mixture of sodium bicarbonate, starch, plus an acidic solvent. Acid salt is used. So this mixture is called as baking soda. It is the major constituent. In baking soda, it is the major constituent. What is that acid salt, sir? This acid salt generally used, that is sodium hydrogen tartarate. Sodium hydrogen tartarate. Tartaric acid is there, boys. From that, this is the salt. Sodium hydrogen tartarate or sodium hydrogen pyrophosphate. Sodium hydrogen pyrophosphate. So these are the salts may be used. So the combination is called as baking soda. The major constituent is NaHCO3 for making cakes like that. So this is baking soda, boys. Very, very important. So this is all about your sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate. Sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, sodium hydroxide. These are very, very, very important. These are the major compounds from sodium compounds. Almost those compounds are completed, boys. Now sodium chloride. Yes, sodium bicarbonate doesn't change color of phenolphthalein. not involved in reaction with phenolphthalein. But sodium carbonate, that is the distinguished. Already I completed at carbonates and bicarbonates topic. Okay. Now, next top compound, that is next compound NaCl. Sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. Okay. So its preparation mainly from seawater. NaCl is generally prepared from seawater. Seawater contains mainly NaCl and some impurities. For this NaCl, what are those impurities? That is CaCl2, MgCl2, Na2SO4, and CaSO4. So these are the impurities, boys. So these impurities are removed and we collect NaCl. So this is the preparation method. So mainly this sodium chloride is prepared from seawater. Next, it is highly soluble in water. It is highly soluble in water. Its solubility in water is about 35.5 grams. About 35.5 grams. That is 100 grams water can dissolve 35.5 grams NaCl. So this is possible, boys. In 100 grams water, almost 35.5. Here, roughly in our textbook, 36 may be there. 36 grams NaCl may be dissolved. That means very, very huge amount of NaCl is dissolved in 100. That's why its solubility is 35.5 grams or 36 grams. Okay. So it is next. For NaCl, hydration energy is almost all equal to lattice energy. For NaCl, hydration energy is almost all equal to lattice energy. Next point. So as temperature increases or decreases, its solubility not change. That means solubility of that NaCl is not influenced by temperature. Even though temperature increases or decreases, that solubility is almost like that. That's why. So its solubility is never influenced by our temperature. So this is a slight information towards NaCl, boys. So this is NaCl component. So listen, boys, up to now, NaOH, Na2CO3, NaHCO3, NaCl, these compounds are covered. These are the compounds which are present in your textbook, NCERT book. Okay. So that means this is up to mains. Now coming topics. Those are remaining compounds. Please wait. I will explain at last. Coming topics are all applicable for advanced purpose. So coming topics are all advanced purpose. See here. The next compound of sodium, that is sodium oxide. Sodium oxide. All are small compounds, by roughly 10 compounds are there total. Already 4 covered. Remaining 4 we will discuss. So 2 tomorrow morning. Next compound, that is fifth one, that is sodium oxide, formula Na2O. Sodium oxide. How to prepare this sodium oxide? So preparation method. Preparation method. See boys, generally sodium can form with oxygen peroxide. If excess of oxygen is there, peroxide is the final product. If limited supply of oxygen is there, or air is there, so oxide may be the final product. If excess of oxygen is there, peroxide. But I want monoxide. So limited supply of air or limited supply of oxygen. So that is the technique used here. That is sodium and reacts with oxygen. That is limited supply of air. Limited supply of air, that gives Na2O boys. But it is impure form. Impure. Maybe peroxide has impurity. Maybe peroxide, because peroxide is more stable than oxide. That is it. Peroxide may be impure and that is impure form. Next, when NaOH reacts with sodium metal, that gives Na2O plus hydrogen gas may be released. Na2O plus hydrogen gas. Next, when sodium peroxide reacts with sodium metal, that gives Na2O is the final product. Na2O. Balance it, boys. Balance it. I am not using balance equations. Please balance yourself. So both products and reactants products are noted but unbalanced equation. Please balance yourself. Next, when NaNO2, sodium nitrite, reacts with sodium metal, that gives Na2O plus N2 gas. Next, NaNO3 also with sodium metal gives Na2O plus N2 gas. Na2O plus N2. It is NO3 boys. Nitrite to nitrate, whatever it may be. And azide also, NaN3L. It is azide. And azide also reacts with sodium metal. Sorry, not sodium metal, it is NaNO2. That gives Na2O plus N2. So in all these cases, sodium oxide is the final product. See here nitrogen gas, but here hydrogen gas is released. These are the preparation methods of sodium oxide. Now, what are the properties of this one? So properties. So when sodium oxide dissolved in water, that gives respect to hydroxide. So that is alkaline in nature. Therefore, sodium oxide is basic in nature. Next, when sodium oxide reacts with oxygen, most stable peroxide is the product. That is at about. Okay. Next, when sodium oxide, I'm using here. That is when sodium oxide heated up to 400 degrees centigrade, that gives sodium peroxide and sodium. Okay. Next, when sodium oxide reacts with ammonia, it is important. When sodium oxide reacts with ammonia, that gives NaNH2. It is called as sodamide. Most important organic component, organic reagent. Sodamide, NaNH2. that is plus NaOH is the final product. NaOH. It is sodamide, boys. It is sodamide. These are some chemical reactions of that Na2CO. That is sodium oxide. These are some chemical reactions. So this is about our sodium oxide. This is about our sodium oxide. Next one, sodium peroxide. Next compound. Next compound, boys. All are small compounds. Little reactions and less reactions. That is, what is that? Sixth compound, sodium peroxide. Na2O2. Na2O2, sodium peroxide. In previous case, when sodium reacts with oxygen, excess of air. In previous case, that is limited, but it is in excess. So that gives Na2O2 is the productant. Sodium peroxide is the productant. Excess of air is used. Sodium peroxide. It is the preparation method, boys. Now, properties. Properties of this sodium peroxide. Sodium peroxide, when dissolved in water, already we know, boys, and dissolved in water, that gives sodium hydroxide, and hydrogen peroxide is the final product. Sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide is the final product. It is diluted. That means very diluted solution. So same sodium peroxide, if concentrated solution is taken, the final product is NaOH and oxygen gas is evolved. Very, very important. Please keep in mind that is dilute solution gives H2O2, concentrated solution gives oxygen. Concentrated solution gives oxygen. Next, see here, these reactions you know. Na2O2, sodium peroxide, and reacts with carbon monoxide. That gives Na2CO3 is the final product. Already at the time of peroxide, we wrote the equations. Next, when it reacts with carbon dioxide, that is Na2CO3 plus half O2 is the productant. Half O2. When it reacts with H2SO4, so peroxide with dilute acids gives hydrogen peroxide is the product. That reaction is used in your H2O2 preparation. The H2O2 preparation, that is Am I audible to you? Am I audible to you? Okay, thank you. Sodium peroxide, that is, these are some reactions. These are some reactions. Okay, so boys, this sodium peroxide is a good oxidizing agent. This sodium peroxide is used as a good oxidizing agent. So reaction, see here, one of the examples for that oxidizing reagent, that is when chromic chloride, Cr plus 3 is here, boys. That is chromic chloride. This reacts with Na2O2, sodium peroxide, in the presence of NaOH, alkali medium. That gives sodium chromate is the product, Na2CrO4. Na2CrO4 plus NaCl plus H2O. NaCl plus H2O. For our purpose, I'm balancing, boys. 2, it is 3, it is 4, 2, 6, 2, 6, that is 200. It is the balanced equation, boys. Here chromium is in plus 6, plus 3 oxidation state. Here chromium is in plus 6 oxidation state. That means plus 3 is changed to plus 6. So this is green in color. Green colored chromium chloride, chromic chloride is changed to yellow colored sodium chromate and sodium chromate. Yellow colored sodium chromate. It is all due to this Na2O2. So this is acts as oxidizing agent. So this is acts as oxidizing agent. So these are some preparations, some properties of our Na2O2 and sodium peroxide. Very, very important. Okay. So next compounds, boys. So remaining nitrite and nitrate, two compounds are there. So here we are discussing two more compounds, both nitrites and nitrates. So first of all, nitrates. Next component, that is the seventh one, sodium nitrate, NaNO3, and sodium nitrate. Okay, preparation. It is salt, boys. So NaOH plus HNO3. That combination gives NaNO3. Acid plus base gives salt. So preparation method. Preparation method. That is, our NaOH reacts with HNO3, gives NaNO3 plus H2O. NaNO3 plus H2O. One of the preparation methods. So it is base. So Na2CO3 when reacts with HNO3, that gives NaNO3 plus H2O plus CO2. H2O plus CO2. So these are the preparation methods of NaNO3. Only these two preparation methods. Acid-base reaction. Acid-base reaction. Next, properties. Properties. So it is highly soluble in water. Soluble in water. It is a solvent, no doubt. Next one, it is hygroscopic. Hygroscopic means absorb water but limited absorption of water. If it is continuously absorbed, that is deliquescent. The word is called as deliquescent. It is hygroscopic. So that is why it is used in gunpowder. Used in gunpowder. Next, chemical properties. Chemical properties, boys. See here, already we know when NaNO3 is heated up to 500 degrees centigrade, nitrite change it to nitrite any. That is NaNO2 plus O2. NaNO2 plus O2. If it is heated up to 800 degrees centigrade, already we know. Already we write that equation. That gives Na2O plus N2 plus O2. Na2O plus N2 plus O2 are the final products. So at 500, at 800, please balance it. So it is action of heating. It is action of heat. Next, when NaNO3 reacts with sodium metal, that is a 10 Na, gives Na2O plus N2 is the final product. Na2O plus N2 is 6. So 10 plus, okay, 6 Na2O plus N2. 6 Na2O. Next, these reactions, you know, boys, when NaNO3 reacts with lead, that gives NaNO2 plus Pb1. It reacts with carbon, that gives NaNO2 plus C1. If it reacts with zinc, NaNO2 plus Zn1. All these reactions we know, boys. All these reactions at the time, nitrates we are we wrote there. So same reactions, boys. Same reactions. Okay. So this is about the chemical reactions of our NaNO2. Sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate. See here. Here NaNO2 is formed. Here NaNO2. NaNO2. Here NaNO2. So these are all used for the preparation methods of NaNO2 in the next case. That is why I'm not writing. I will not write those equations, boys. So please consider same reactions are also used as a preparation methods for nitrite. Okay. Next component that is sodium nitrite. Last compound for today's session. So that is sodium nitrite. How much it is? Eighth one. Sodium nitrite. Sodium nitrite. Its formula NaNO2. See here. So what are the preparation methods? Some other preparation methods, boys. So that is when NaOH reacts with nitric oxide and NO2. Nitric N2O3 indirectly. NO and NO2, that gives NaNO2 plus H2O. NaNO2 plus H2O. It is oxides of nitrogen. Next, second preparation method, that is instead of NaOH, I am using Na2CO3. Same reaction. There NaNO2 plus CO2 is the product. Next, NaOH, NaNO3, sodium nitrate, NaNO3, okay, plus carbon plus CaOH twice. This combination also gives NaNO2 plus calcium carbonate, CaCO3 plus H2O. Same, when NaNO3, sodium nitrate, reacts with SO2 plus CaO, calcium oxide, SO2 plus CaO1, that is NaNO2 plus CaSO3 or CaSO4. Calcium sulfate is the product. These are some other preparation methods for NaNO3. Already in previous topic, some preparation methods are there. Now these are other preparation methods. Next, properties. So it is a white crystalline solid. White crystalline solid, but on standing turns into yellow. So because of air reaction, something else. On reaction, it turns into yellow. Next, it is a deliquescent compound. So, okay. So these are the important points towards this physical properties. Now chemical properties, boys. See here some of the chemical properties. First one, that is when NaNO2 reacts with ammonium chloride, that gives NaCl plus N2 plus H2O. Nitrogen gas is revolved. nitrogen gas is evolved. It is very, very important, boys. Next, NaNO2 when reacts with dilute HNO3, that gives, see boys, it is very, very, very important organic reaction. When NaNO2 reacts with HNO3, dilute HNO3, that gives, see here, NaNO3, NaNO2 plus HNO3. So sorry, it is HCl, not HNO3. It is HCl. That gives HNO2 plus NaCl are the production. Boys, it is HNO2, nitrous acid, very, very unstable. So its preparation is difficult. So after formation of this HNO2, itself it is going to decompose. So that's why. So whenever you want to use HNO2, so indirectly this reaction is used, right? Indirectly. So if this reagent is used, automatically the product is HNO2. So indirectly HNO2 is the reactant. Indirectly. Okay. So now that formed HNO3, HNO2, unstable any. So that's why it is changed to HNO3 and NO plus O2. NO plus O2. This formed NO further reacts with the oxygen, gives NO2. So these are the side reactions and very, very important reaction. And very, very, very important reaction. Next, see boys. So our NaNO3, NaNO2 acts as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Our NaNO3, NaNO2, sodium nitrite, acts as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Some of the oxidizing properties and some of the reducing properties here we are discussing any. So see here, 3 plus 3, just 6 reactions. See, observe here. So before going to take the reactions, a little concept wise. When a compound involved in acts as oxidizing agent, when it is involved in acts as reducing agent, when that involved acts as both oxidizing as well as reducing agent. So how can I identify, sir? Is this oxidizing agent or is this reducing agent or is this both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent? Let us observe the concepts. So most of the students well known, but I'm recalling that one. See here. NaNO2. Here nitrogen is in +3 oxidation state, boys. If it is involved in the reactions, so if the product is NaNO3, there nitrogen is in +5. That means nitrite is changed to nitrate. So itself it is oxidized, boys. Therefore, acts as reducing agent. Any species that can oxidize itself acts as reducing agent. Okay, so that means, so lower oxidation state, if an element is involved in, yes, if an element involved is in lower oxidation state, it can be increased its oxidation state, oxidized and acts as reducing agent. For example, if element is in highest oxidation state, highest, for example, if same NaNO2 is converted into N2, here nitrogen oxidation state 0, here nitrogen +3, so +3 to 0, this reaction is a reduction any. Therefore, in this reaction, this acts as oxidizing agent. Oxidizing, that means, so this is the element which is in middle oxidation state. Any element which is in middle oxidation state, that can increase its oxidation state, that may be decreased in oxidation state. If it is increased in oxidation state, itself oxidized and acts as reducing agent. If it is decreased in its oxidation state, itself reduced and acts as oxidizing agent. So that is, so in this case it is oxidizing agent, in this case it is reducing agent. That means if an element in its middle oxidation state may act as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Like this. That is why our NaNO2, so may oxidize and acts as reducing agent, may reduce and acts as oxidizing agent. Therefore, NaNO2 acts as oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. For example, if NaNO2 converts into NO, NaNO3, NO2 converts into NO. Here nitrogen is in +2 oxidation state wise. +3 change it to +2. Reduced. Therefore, oxidizing agent. Therefore, that means, so whenever NaNO2 is involved in oxidizing agent, it acts as oxidizing agent. The product may be NO or N2. One of the products must be either NO or N2. If it acts as a reducing agent, the product should be NaNO3. NaNO3. Okay. So therefore, so NaNO2 acts as reducing agent. Product should be NaNO3. It acts as oxidizing agent. Product either N2 or N1. So one of the products that is either N2 or N1. Okay. For example, if an element in its highest oxidation state, it is not possible further oxidation. That is why itself it is reduced. So itself it is reduced means acts as oxidizing agent. That means any element in its highest oxidation state acts as oxidizing agent. In its least oxidation state acts as reducing agent. In its middle oxidation state acts as both oxidizing agent and reducing agent. So that is why NaNO3, here nitrogen at its highest oxidation state, never increased its oxidation state. Therefore, NaNO3 only acts as oxidizing agent, but not reducing agent. Okay. So, but our NaNO2 acts as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. So, some of the oxidizing and reducing properties, boys. Products also important. If urea is involved in the reaction, N2 is the productant, one of the products. If others are there, NO is the final productant. NO is the final product. See here, some of the oxidizing properties. NaNO2. Oxidizing properties of NaNO2. First one, urea. NH2CO, NH2. Here nitrogen is in -3 oxidation state, boys. It is urea. When it reacts with NaNO2 in the presence of acid like HCl, that gives NaCl plus H2O plus CO2 plus N2 is the product. Plus N2 is the product. Okay. So if NaNO2 change it to N2, reduced, therefore acts as oxidizing. Next, why it is N2? It is N2. Okay. Next, second property, that is when SnCl2, stannous chloride, here tin is in +2 oxidation state. This one reacts with NaNO2 in the presence of HCl, that converts into SnCl4. It is in +4, SnCl4. So plus NaCl plus NO plus H2O are the products. Here NO is the productant. Here N2 is the productant. Next, when SO2 reacts with NaNO2 in the presence of acid like HCl, that gives H2, that is Na2SO4. So just a minute, hydrogen, sulfur, H2SO4. So it is in +6 oxidation state, boys. Plus NaCl plus H2O. NaCl, so H2O, hydrogen, sufficient. NO is the final product, not H2O. NO is the final product. NO is the final product. Next one, that is when potassium iodide, Ki, reacts with NaNO2. Here iodine is in -2, here sulfur is in +4, and here sulfur is in +6. Here I is -1, NaNO2. So that reacts with HCl, gives I2 is the productant. I2 plus NO plus NO(I2), their oxidation state 0. 0. -1 to 0, oxidized. It is oxidizing agent. It is oxidizing agent. So once again, NaCl plus KCl plus KCl plus I2 plus NO1 plus H2O. Water or hydrogen is there, therefore H2O. These are the products, boys. Okay, these are all oxidizing properties of NaNO2. These are all oxidizing properties of NaNO2. Next, reducing properties. In these cases, our NaNO2 changes to NaNO3. Therefore, in products, no doubt NaNO3 is the one of the products. See here, KMnO4 reacts with our NaNO2, sodium nitrite. Sodium nitrite in presence of H2SO4 gives. So here manganese is in +7 oxidation state, boys. So that converts into MnSO4. Here manganese +2 RAM. Next to K2SO4 plus NaNO3 plus H2O plus H2O. So +7 change to +2, reduction. It is reducing agent. Next, see boys, it is pink in color. It is colorless. So pink color substance change it to colorless. It is a reducing property of NaNO2. Next, K2Cr2O7. K2Cr2O7. Here chromium is in +6 oxidation state. Reacts with NaNO2 plus H2SO4 gives K2, that is Cr2SO4 thrice plus, so K2SO4 plus H2O plus NaNO3. So here chromium is in +3. +6 change it to +3. +6. Orange color chemical change it to, that is green in color. So green colored. Next and last, that is bromine, Br. This bromine reacts with H2O, that is NaNO2 in the presence of water gives, that is HBr. 2HBr plus NaNO3 is the product. 2HBr plus NaNO3. Here bromine oxidation state 0. Here it is -1. So all these are reducing properties of NaNO2. Therefore, our NaNO2 acts as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Okay. Uses. So it is used as food preservative. It is used as a food preservative. So second one, to prepare azo dyes. That means paints making lo use chestunnam. Azo dyes. Second equation, yes, last product NaNO3, no doubt. NaNO3. Okay, boys. So these are some preparation properties of our NaNO2, NaNO3, and some other chemicals. 2 more chemicals are there. So those and some potassium salts. So tomorrow we will complete this alkali metals. Okay, boys. Thank you. Thanks a lot.